Okay, hello everyone. So today I thought we would focus on a few questions I've been getting lately, which is just applying Barry Harris principles that I've been discussing all along into specific songs. I thought a really good song to maybe try would be "What Is This Thing Called Love," classic by Cole Porter, which is also the basis of the song "Hot House." You know. Anyway, it's a great place to look at some principles that Barry talks about often. So let's just jump right into it. It starts with a G minor 7 flat 5 to C7 flat 9 to F minor. And then it does a similar progression, D minor 7 flat 5 G7, but this time it ends on a C major. So you can think of it as a cadence to the minor fourth and a cadence to the root. Now, when you look at the song in the Tundex book, it really is just a C7. The first one is just a... It's just really a seventh chord. You could play the whole song with just the basic seventh chords without looking at the related twos at all. And it kind of gives you an old-timey vibe. Same thing here. The bridge would be an F7. A flat 7. And then so it would be that kind of thinking that you would take to improvise over it. The G minor 7 flat 5 to C7 is really just a C7. And again, the G7 is just a G7. Why is that important? Well, if you're thinking C7, you can think C7, then to its tritone. Same thing with the G. So you could build your line based on G7, D flat 7, so what am I saying? C7, G flat 7, F minor, G7, D flat 7. I didn't even play, I just played the triad. I wonder what it would sound like if I played it, moderate tempo, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me try to expand that thinking further. I didn't really do it there. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see that? I played C7 to F sharp 7, and it'll work here too. G7 to D flat 7. See, I found myself on the second of the D flat 7. I ended up on the second of the D flat 7. The rules say when you're on the 2, you can put 2 half steps. And then I used some kind of a pivot motion to end the line. So again, there's a whole video on every one of these. So if you're new to this channel, I'll link to all the videos that have to do with this in the description. So the half-step rules, the dominant half-step rules is one of them. Pivoting is one of them. And And then again, how to think about a scale outline. That one, there aren't enough of those yet. That's a whole series of videos. So that's one way of looking at it. And another way of looking at it is the G minor 7 flat 5 is a G minor 7 flat 5 is the chord that's found on the third of an E flat 7. If I go up the chords on an E flat 7, the third one is going to be a G minor 7 flat 5. So therefore, I could use E flat 7 for that. So I would go, and I would end on the third of C. So that's another way of thinking. So you could choose what we just spoke about for the first chorus, and then in your second chorus go into this thinking, and it gives you a different sound. Let's try it again. Right, if I think E flat 7, that leads me right to the third of the C7, where I find a diminished. Right? So these are just some thoughts on C7. Another thing you might find is that if I do a cadence to F minor, what is this thing called? Well, F7, not F7, F minor. I misspoke. If I'm doing a cadence to F minor, if F minor with the 6 in the bass is D minor 7 flat 5. So the transition between the first 4 measures and the second 4 measures, there is no transition. It's the same chord. I mean, I can just play F minor for both measures that contain F minor, and then the 2 measures that contain D minor 7 flat 5 after that, which is the same diminished. So for that whole section of the song, I can think one thing, an F minor 6 diminished scale. So look at this. Remember I said it's C7? Well, C7 is the diminished that's in there, in the F minor 6 diminished scale. And F. And then I do the same thing. And only at the end there I have to end up on a C. So almost you could play F minor for the whole first part of the song. Only you'd have to reverse the dominant tonic relationship. You'd have to start on the dominant. Find your way to C somewhere at the last minute. So here are some thoughts then. So here again, the video that talks more about this is really the 6-chord rules, okay? That a D minor 7 flat 5 is the same as an F minor 6. Okay? So that's the thinking behind that. You find that these keys are related, they're separated by minor thirds, which means they're part of the diminished family. So, so this is how you see that Barry's kind of thinking is a very holistic kind of thinking. Everything is connected to everything else, right? When you start to think along these lines, you know, the way that I did it for myself was I decided to do each idea separate unto itself, and then worry about how they connect. Because if I started to worry about the connections early on, I'd get completely overwhelmed, and there would be I'd get the deer in the headlights. What's going on? But oh, this is in the shot. Who knew? Okay, that's much better. Okay, I'll have my video crew edit that out. Actually, I won't, because I don't have one. It's back to the tune. So. So you could take all the different approaches. So you could take, we said you could do C to its tritone, right? G to its tritone. E flat 7. By the same token, the D minor 7 flat 5 will take a B flat 7. Now, the bridge is just F7. What was that? Tritone. The song is just so beautifully constructed that you could just get lost in it. So so some ideas on what is this thing called love. Play it old timey. Oh, like. See, I didn't even play the minor 7 flat 5. That tritone version. Maybe I'll do the B flat 7 on it. Right, I went into the tritone as well. You know, you could do tritones all day long. Okay, so I hope so. What did we apply? We applied half-step rules. We applied pivoting. We applied sixth-chord equivalents, sixth-chord superimpositions. Each of these has a video on it that will be linked to in the description. We applied 2 different scale outline strategies, one involving the dominant and the tritone, one involving the relative seventh of the minor 7 flat 5. I'm sure if you think about it more, you're going to find more connections between all of these thoughts. So just between those different ideas, you have a world of traditional. I mean, you could go really old timey on it and play, Tin Pan Alley style, or you could go totally bebop or modern and play everything tritones and be dissonant to your heart's content. But it's the same framework, the same thinking that yields all of those ranges of sounds. That's the real power of Barry's way of thinking. So there'll be lots more videos on this. We'll pick a song of the day. I'll also do my best to answer as many questions as I can. So keep those questions coming on the YouTube and on the Patreon. If these online lessons are useful to you, and you want to help support me in making them, please consider visiting my Patreon page. Isaac Raz, patreon.com/Isaac Raz, where you will find bonus videos, transcriptions, other goodies at different tier levels. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share it to all your friends, and keep swinging out there. Thanks. Bye.